I'm Sergeant Kevin Allen with the Portland Police Bureau. This is the first update for the events of January 20th, 2021.
You guys know, January 20th, 2021, the day that all the right-wingers were supposed to come out and start just blowing everything up and insurrection. Remember the FBI came out and had a big old press conference. Portland Police came out, had a big press conference and talked about all the preparations, all the things they were going to do to make sure that all these crazy right-wingers weren't going to come out and burn the cities down. Yeah, you remember.
Our plan is to provide regular updates for you this evening on the events that we're monitoring and public safety messages from Incident Command. There are at least 4 planned events this afternoon and evening, and some are already impacting traffic.
4 events planned, already impeding traffic. Weird. I remember Villain getting arrested for standing in the middle of the street filming, but Villain can get cited for standing in the middle of the street, but Antifa can't. Gotcha.
Right now, there is a car rally starting at the Portland Community College Cascade campus near North Albina Avenue and North Jessup Street. Simultaneously, another group of approximately 100 to 150 people gathered at Revolution Hall near Southeast 12th Avenue and Southeast Stark Street started at 2 p.m. At 2:45 p.m., officers on bicycles entered the crowd to contact at least one person with a weapon and remove metal poles affixed to a banner. Officers were concerned that the poles would be used to hurt someone or used in a criminal manner.
Hey, good job being a little proactive. Good job, Portland PD. Bravo. What happened next?
As officers tried to disengage, the crowd showed aggression by swarming officers and throwing objects. Officers deployed one smoke canister to allow for officers to leave safely, which they did at 2:55 p.m.
Hold up. Wait a second. So cops got attacked, and you guys threw smoke, and then you tried to leave. But you also forgot a little something. They stole one of the bikes. They stole one of the officers' bicycles. Yeah. So again, nobody's arrested still. Officers were assaulted and just threw smoke, and then we all left. Gotcha.
Shortly after, the PPB sound truck delivered audible messages to the crowd at Revolution Hall, warning them the group does not have a permit to march and to remain on the sidewalk.
Did you guys catch that? Sound truck came, said you guys don't have a permit, you guys cannot march, and you cannot be on the sidewalk. This is an order given by Portland PD. Wonder what happens next.
The group left Revolution Hall just after 3 p.m. and is heading towards Burnside Bridge on Southeast Stark Street.
Yeah, right there, he just said that the sound truck came and said, don't do this, and now they're doing it. Moving on, obviously, because take us seriously as law enforcement because we said don't do that, and you assaulted us, we throw smoke at you, one smoke canister at you, and that's fine, cops left. And then now it's marching time. But the truck said, don't do that. And now they're doing it. Wonder why they feel enabled and entitled and able, and they feel like they can just go out and smash the Democrat headquarters there in Portland. It's weird.
We're also aware of a video showing an officer carrying a knife. This knife was recovered as evidence from one of the protesters. There are 2 other events planned for today. At 4 p.m., there's an event at Irving Park at Northeast Fremont Street and Northeast 7th Avenue. Finally, originally set for tonight at 8, there's a gathering planned for Carruthers Park at South Moody Avenue and South Gaines Street.
Weird how none of those are right-winger events. None of those 4 events there have anything to do with Trump. They don't have anything to do with conservatism, Republicans, constitutionalists, or what have you. You know, all those crazy people that the FBI said, gotta watch out for today. All 4 of those events, nothing whatsoever to do with Trump. Nothing whatsoever to do with anti-Biden, except for Antifa, who went and destroyed the Democrat headquarters in Portland. But again, you know, let's facilitate a nice, peaceful, safe First Amendment day, right?
The Portland Police Bureau's liaison officers are available as a resource with all event organizers to establish an environment where community members may safely practice their speech and assembly rights. Organizers may reach out at ppbliaison@portlandoregon.gov or through its Twitter account @ppbliaison. Above all, the Portland Police Bureau encourages lawful demonstration, will work to preserve peace, and we recognize the rights of free speech and assembly. Please stay tuned to this channel.
No, the answer is no. Portland police do not ensure the safety of anybody. The Portland police does not ensure the safety of the city. Portland police does not ensure the safety of property. Portland police does not ensure the safety of people. The Portland Police Bureau is nothing more than a militant arm, I guess, of Ted Wheeler, who dictates whether or not it's okay for people to go out and hurt people, damage property, and so on. This is proof. All the proof you need right here is that nobody's been arrested yet. Nobody's been arrested in Portland, Oregon for assaulting officers, for stealing property from the officers, probably just getting even because the cops took the dude's knife, I guess, right? I mean, take the bike, I'll take your knife, we'll call it a trade, we'll call it a day. Portland police sat there and said that, no, you're not going to be allowed to march on the streets, that you're not going to be allowed to go out and damage property. You're not going to be able to block traffic. They do it all the time. The Portland police say that they're going to do that all the time. They are allowed to do it all the time. Antifa is always allowed to block streets. Antifa is always allowed to damage property. Antifa is always allowed to damage people. And Portland police does this. That's what they do. Eventually, though, yeah, they might throw a couple flashbangs and some more smoke, and they might march ahead, and maybe grab a couple people, maybe grab 10 people, tops, out of the 100 or so that are causing damage and assaulting other people. But, so that way we still have a show, we still have an arrest record, and we still have, what do we call that? A history of enforcing the law. But of course, it's not enforced, what do they call that? Fairly. It's not enforced equally across the board. But it's selective. It's very selective on when the law gets enforced in Portland, Oregon. It's very selective when government officials will actually sit there and speak out against stuff. Here's a question. How come Ted Wheeler has yet to tweet? Is he waiting? Is he waiting on tomorrow on the reaction that he's going to get from his constituents? Is he waiting? Is he not, going to sit there and talk tough now and talk about how, violence should stop and how Portland police should, hammer down like he did a couple months ago, that he kind of walked back a little bit? Where's the equal justice under the law here, guys? I bet you money that if right-wingers went out and just blocked the street, just stood there, blocked the street, waved a couple flags, talked about freedom, they would be taken out pretty quick. A lot of people would be arrested, and they wouldn't be released right away either. No. They'll be held for a while, possibly overnight even. But all these people that get arrested that are Antifa and so on, most of them, 99% of them get released, and guess what? No charges filed. And if there are any charges filed, most of them are what? Public disturbance, garbage that nobody cares about, and that it's like a $500 fine. Ooh, this is the problem, America. The FBI sat there and said that there's credible threats in all 50 state capitals. Nothing happened. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. The only thing that has happened is that in Portland, Oregon, a group of 150 Antifa are walking around assaulting cops, damaging property, and blocking roads. It's a typical night in Portland. Yeah, where's the FBI? Where's the press conference on the planned left-wing violence that was planned today? There was a press conference from all Portland officials and all Oregon officials and pretty much all, government officials and the media talking about all this crazy, massive right-wing violence that we were supposed to have today. I'm in Washington, D.C. I found 4 total Trump supporters. I personally, physically saw 4 Trump supporters today. 4. Yeah, I didn't even see Quincy. I know he was out there. We crossed paths somehow. We missed each other. And but that would have made 5. 5 whole Trump supporters. Yeah, that's the crazy insurrection. That's the riot that we saw here in Washington, D.C. That's why we have 30,000 troops here. That's why we have hundreds of cops here, thousands of cops here. For that, for 4 people, 5 people. This is the America that we live in right now, people. This is the America that we are currently residing in. It is a America of lies and falsehood, and our law enforcement agencies are garbage. Our law enforcement agencies are aren't helping. They're not making things better. They're not enforcing the laws that we have. Perfect example. I don't believe that the election was stolen. Okay, first I'll just go ahead and put that out there. But I do know 100% that there were some improprieties. I know that for on 100% that there was some illegal stuff that happened. And yet our court sat there and said, no, we're not even going to look into it. You're not going to have a hearing. You're not going to have a trial. You're not going to have anything. We're not even going to look into it. That's part of our law enforcement. That is part of our law enforcement, people. Our courts said we're not going to help enforce the law. Our law enforcement officials, the FBI, said, we're going to make a whole bunch of crap up. We're going to put it out there so that people get all scared and stuff. And it was a lie. It was all a lie. 100%. There was zero truth to it. There was zero notice or anything about Antifa going out and damaging property. We had notice. Anybody who has Twitter could have had notice because they publicly say, we're going to go do this stuff. We're going to go ahead and do this. We got this stuff planned that we're going to go out and break stuff on the 20th. No right-winger said that. No right-wing group, no patriot group put out anything whatsoever planned for the 20th. Nobody. Anywhere. And if there was stuff, if there was a flyer going around, find out who put it out. You won't find them because they weren't a patriot group. There were some lefties sitting there making it just like they make their own in the same style and everything as theirs. And yet people go, oh no, it's a threat. It's real. They're going to come get us. Today is a great day in American history because the lies and the crazy on full display. Wake up. See what's happening. Smell the roses. Conservatives, stop being scared. It's not all a trap. Use your common sense. Use your brains. Think a little bit. Don't just go home and hide because you're scared. There's nothing to be scared of. Except for, right, the political persecution that we are having. But guess what? If people don't go out and expose these things and show the people who are in the middle, the majority of America, who actually isn't hardcore Antifa or hardcore Q followers, to show the people in the middle what's really happening in this country, the world is starting to see it. Our own people need to start seeing it. They need to see what is really happening. That's why I'm here in DC. Everybody told me not to come. Everybody told me not to go to DC. I had to come to DC to show the reality, to show the world, even though YouTube's killing me right now, and Facebook, I'm completely banned on Facebook. And so I have over 500,000 people that aren't going to be seeing this, but I'm still doing it for the hope and prayer that some people do and see the truth and see what really happened and is happening in this country. Wake up, America. It's time. It is time to wake up. It is time to see what is happening. The media has lied to you forever. Stop believing the media. The law enforcement agencies have been lying to you forever. Stop believing them. Our politicians, get rid of them all. I'm not a fan of term limits, and I never will be a fan of term limits because the American people should be their term limit. It is time for the American people to start using their brains. For the love of God, start waking up and using your brains. I'm just going to point out really quick that while I was putting this video together, tweet notification came across that the same thing is happening in Seattle right now. Not right-wing extremists, not right-wingers by any stretch of the imagination, Antifa marching in Seattle. I just wonder if this political violence might be 110% Antifa. So Seattle, Portland, where else? All this media hype about right-wing violence, left-wing violence, the actual threat to America, left-wing violence, the actual brown shirts walking around assaulting people because of what they believe, because they believe in freedom, and these people believe in government control, but they call it, anarchy, which is absolutely just ridiculous all in itself. But yeah, welcome to America. This is the real America.